everyone. Kailey made it back and he's already out gardening. Let's go have a look.
Hi, welcome. Guess it's a great time to introduce myself since I've been hiding away at work. I'm Kailey, Natalie's husband, plant nerd, and plant addict, I guess, all at one. Today I'm just doing a little bit of editing around the yard. It's a great time of year to move certain plants around and make divisions, offer stuff maybe next year's sales table. So maybe we can show you how it's done and you can watch the great video.
Why don't you tell our viewers where this madness came from or how it all started?
How it all started. My mom and dad were kind of gardeners. We had a bit of a veggie garden growing up. I was kind of interested in houseplants. Then we bought a property, you and I. And one spring I was noticing these shoots coming out of the ground and I thought, oh cool, I got asparagus. Nope, it wasn't asparagus, it was bamboo. And it was a running timber bamboo, which I became completely obsessed with, and I still am obsessed with growing all these rare cultivars, which I'm going to showcase later on, some of our amazing rare bamboos that we grow here. Most of these you'll never see in North America, so you definitely want to stay tuned and watch some of these videos in the future. So I developed this crazy, insane addiction to growing bamboo.
Obsession,
yeah. Everybody was like, watch out, you know, one morning you're going to wake up and it's going to strangle everybody in the household, including all the neighbors. And then it, I guess, developed into growing other tropical plants. I wasn't quite into flowers yet, or, you know, some of the unique things that we grow now. I just kind of wanted this like jungle effect. And we achieved that. The yard was fantastic. We had it on multiple garden tours. There's tons of like, you know, bigger leaf rhododendrons and tetrapanics, certain things that I guess are not very common. Rhododendrons being like large leaf species rhodos. So yeah, my gardening has just taken off to being completely obsessed with mostly things that are hard to grow. So things that are hard to grow would be certain types of alpines, plants from southern hemisphere, Chile. I sow tons of seed and I kill 90% of it, but I keep trying in hopes of having this like amazing Chilean look. Anyway, so yeah, so today here we are moving plants around. I'm moving this awesome Dysbropsis perennii. And I've been moving a bunch of different podophyllums around. For those that don't know podophyllums, this is Podophyllum pleanthum in front of me. These are also called May apples or Dysosma. And we grow these and hybridize these around the yard. They love shade. They're not very full sun. They do create an awesome look. And they create a fantastic foliage color in the spring. So yeah, I'll showcase what I'm moving here. These are deeply rooted and they're actually quite drought tolerant. If you notice all the roots are really thick, that's a sign that plants can do almost like a dry shade. And it's hard to find plants that are really good for dry shade. You know, it's something that everybody almost struggles with in the gardening communities, right? Like, what do you plant under a root-bound maple? So yeah, this Dysbropsis is going to be a fantastic plant. It's got a awesome stem. It's all molted, almost like a snake looking, and it's evergreen, which it's just something that's just so hard to source. I will be digging up this podophyllum as well. These, you know, like I mentioned before, they're these May apples, and these are some of our hybrids that we have grown here. So yeah. Natalie's walking around and I'm slowly digging up this plant. I just wanted to show some of the interesting plants that we're growing here in this front bed. We have these lilies. They are Lilium formosanum. When we were in Japan walking around, we took some seed capsules and started them. And next thing you know, there was like, I don't know, 3 years later, we ended up getting these fantastic fall blooming lilies. Barely in cultivation up here in Canada, and they should be growing more because scents and flowers in fall are kind of hard to come by like this north. We have a fantastic Aureliad, very common. It's called Fatsia japonica, and we have a cute little friend that's been hanging out, a giant tree frog. I believe it's a tree frog or maybe a Pacific course frog. I'm not quite sure. Any of those amphibian nerds could chime in the comments if you wanted to. But he's just a joy to hear him croaking at night, you know, because they say, like, if you have frogs, you have a healthy garden. And that's what we try to strive for here is healthy and sustainable. All our yard is fertilized organically. Not because I believe that organic fertilizer is better to feed your plants, but I think it's in the long run, I guess you could say it's better to feed your plants because it builds your soil. And that's kind of what we've been trying to do here. Well, here we have a monstrous division of a hybrid podophyllum. And I kind of just select these for color because green leaves mostly are boring for podophyllum collectors. And then vigor as well is super important. Some of the red ones that we do make are really temperamental. They end up just disappearing. And anyway, so these are some of our hybrids. The color I will link with a photo of what they look like in the spring. In the fall, they're just kind of meh. But in the spring, that's what really gets you excited about growing these. Once again, those are Chinese May apples. Well, we got a really nice clump of this Dysperopsis. Seems to be a podophyllum that has weaved its way into this, which I think I'm going to leave. It's going to be great. My plan is to make like a border of these, kind of like middle part of a perennial bed, and you'll have some like evergreen interest during the winter, and then instead of hiding in the back, maybe people will be like, oh, what's that cool plant? I really want to buy it. So, okay, everybody follow me. We are going to go plant these in our stump garden. It has kind of been one of those spots that we've waited for shade. Now we're starting to source rhodos down in the States and plant in our kind of shadier spot. So come along. Now we're in the stump garden. This has been a vision of mine to have this old woodland style shade planting. But the problem was that when we moved here, all these trees that were originally on the property had all been topped. And so they had really poor growth habits. They were like a top, and then they would come out like a fork. And for long-term growth, that just wasn't going to be good. There would have been breakage with snow. So we cut most of them down. We did keep 2 of the oaks and a linden tree. And some of these older kind of hybridy-ish boring rhodos were here, which we kept. And then we've been slowly planting some faster growing plants. So, trees, I should say. The eucalyptus there, it's a green form of Eucalyptus gunnii and praecox. This is a skimmia, bush tree type skimmia that I had sourced from a seed collector in Asia. Don't know how that's going to turn out, but it's getting huge. So anyway, so what I'm going to look for is spots to plant this Dysbropsis. We have 4 divisions to go in, and what I'm thinking is to move this one kind of in here.
Ooh, that's gonna look nice.
Yeah, that'll look good. I'll save this little piece. Maybe I can tempt somebody in the sales area. This is another kind of interesting spot, although I don't want to hide the hepaticas. And then there is a trillium in here, but I think like that's going to be a nice spot. So we'll move another one here. You know, it's not really like science, you know. You're going to edit or move stuff around in your yard all the time. I do it continuously. I overplant, which in the short term creates a fantastic like view, maybe not in the long term, you know. Here's another huge division. Oh yeah, this is going to be a great spot in here. I think, you know, here or here, probably there. That'll be a fantastic spot right in there. I wish they weren't, you know, like all green, you know, but I guess this time of year you don't really get much color. And we have, I think, one more that will go. Yeah, so here's our last division. Oh, I got an idea, hon. Let's put it up in here. Maybe even here.
What about behind the log, so it gives it something to rest on?
Yeah, like or like right here, you know, right as it runs, because like we do have all these lilies that are kind of coming up, and then the hepaticas in the front. But I think that kind of gives it a bit of a let's do it.
Okay.
So instead of boring you guys, me digging holes in the ground.
The ladies might like it.
Maybe. I will do a little quick video of everything going in fast. Well, you've seen me plant the Dysbropsis. You've seen me take divisions of these podophyllums, which most of you might have not even heard about. Anyway, that'll be it for the week. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. All these videos are kind of fun for us. It's something that we're doing that's new, and it kind of showcases and gives us a I guess it would be like a diary, a video diary, a vlog of how our yards come in the years that we've been here. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.
See you later.
Like, thumbs up, comment, and maybe let us know if you're growing any of these. Thanks. Bye.